Hello, Teresa here. I hope you're all keeping well and the weather isn't getting to you and you're all nice and safe and cosy wherever you are. I'm going to start off by explaining what this wonderful scene is about on here. These were sent to me by Christine Preston, and I am just so touched, Christine. There are 25 squares and they're all different. This one has patchwork, applique, lots and lots of wonderful and neat stitchery, feather stitch, slow stitch, satin stitch. Oh, there's just so many stitches here. French knots, beautiful, beautiful French knots. I've been away for a few days, and when I came back, and the postman had managed to squash this parcel into my mailbox, and I was just so touched, absolutely touched. There are also some flowers as well that Christine sent. I haven't included those. I'm going to include those in another video. But I'm just so touched by these, Christine. They are absolutely beautiful. Look at this one. I've deliberately not put this in the lineup because so you can see that. Look at that, how fabulous this is. All French knots, satin stitch here. And as I said, Christine, it must have taken ages to do these, a long, long time. I have got other ones here. Look at this. Long French knot with the long arm. They're just so beautiful. These stitches are just wonderful. I'm quite envious and jealous, Christine, of your work. Look at this little pinwheel going on there. And these, I can't remember what they're called. We used to call them slubs, this stitch, but it looks like a rose. Just fabulous. There's a patchwork one here, patchwork, loads and lots of applique, a beautiful one there, look, little bow, more flowers. I just don't know what to say. And this, now on here, I think, Christine, am I right in saying that these are thread loops and then you've gone back and you've done a blanket stitch over them? I know you can get the same effect here with crochet, but it looks to me like these are blanket stitches. There are a couple here. Look at this. Look, different colours along here. I'm just bowled over, Christine. I really don't know what to say except thank you, thank you. I need to do something really, really special with these. So you won't be seeing them again until I come up with a project where I can really do them justice. Look at these beautiful stitches here. Yeah, Christine, your work is just absolutely fabulous, and thank you so much. I can't believe that you've spent all this time making these. I know that you said earlier on in the year that you were sending me something. So you've obviously spent all this time making these, and oh, as I said, I am absolutely overwhelmed, and I will treasure them, absolutely treasure them. I know, Christine, you've been through a very difficult personal time, and sending you lots of love and hug, Christine. And as I say, thank you very much, and I will be emailing you shortly as well. So Christine, very, very special wishes and love go to you. Okay, now before I start crying, I think I'll move on. I'm just going to set these out of the way. These precious, precious pieces of, oh, I don't know what to call them, gems. I'm going to put these over here. So, we're going to do a project. Now, I have to say, I started this project several weeks ago, and I've done lots of it in the past as well. But I can't believe it, Janet Nash. I know that you subscribe to me and I subscribe to you. I can't believe it, Janet, because just as I was wrapping this up to go away for a couple of days, you released a video on exactly the same subject, Momogami. I could not believe it. So, Janet, I haven't watch your video because I don't want to be influenced by it, but I will certainly watch it when I finish this in a couple of days. As I said, I'm going away. I'll be taking it away with me after I've done the so-called donkey work. But Janet, I want you to believe that I haven't copied your idea at all. It's just pure coincidence that you and I often, I think along the same lines and produce very similar work. Hope you don't mind me saying that, Janet. This is just purely coincidental. Haven't watched your video, but as soon as I finish my video, I'm going to watch yours, okay? As you all now know, this is on Momogami. And Momogami is paper folding, paper creasing to turn it into a fabric. And you might think, oh, how can you turn paper into fabric? Well, it's very easy actually, as I hope to show in this video. Now I'm just going to show you a few selections of my Momogami that I collected over the time that I've worked on. This is from the back of a book. It's, as it says, Index of Common Names, Plant Names. I've lined this. 9 times out of 10 I do line mine because of the way we can be a bit rough. As textile artists, we can be rough with our paintbrushes stroke needles. So sometimes it does need a little bit of strengthening. I'll just strengthen this. This is intended for something else. Strengthen this with some violet interfacing, not iron-on, but just regular interfacing. And this is all it is. That is paper for something else. There's a whole mixture here. This is it's not all Momogami, this. This is for an ongoing art class that I'm involved in. And it was texture a couple of weeks ago. So I took mine. Now bearing in mind, this art group is a painting art group, not a textile art group. I'm the only textile artist in this group. And I'm not sure, but I think the tutor, is having slight problems maybe understanding this concept of textile art. Now it is a generational problem, I think. I think those of you who are, oh gosh, I'm not going to finish that sentence off. You might know where I'm going with that, so I'm not going to finish it off. But yes, we are definitely artists. So never ever doubt your skill as a textile artist. You are an artist. We deal with all the things, all the principles, all the elements that painters deal with, the artists who paint. We deal with composition, colour, shape, line, texture. We deal with all that. Now, I did go through, as you know, I went through university and I studied the history of art, but specialised in, or not but, and specialised in textile art. Alongside those who specialise in painting art, pottery art, ceramic art, and other types of art. We all did the same academic course. The only difference was at certain times in the week we would then go off and do our specialisms. So please don't see your art as any less. It's been a little bit of a wake-up call, this, thinking, oh, I thought that certain people, have to say the tutor in this group isn't an artist. It's not an artist at all. It's a group for fun. But let's just say the lead, who is actually very, very nice, his discipline is completely opposite to an art discipline, if you like, which is a contradiction in terms, I think. But the point of this is, I don't want any of you to feel that because maybe ladies of a certain age, of which I'm one, started off their textile careers, if you like, at school when it was needlework, stroke needlecraft. It wasn't an art. The art developed sometime later with thanks to artists like Constance Howard. She was a great textile artist, and I believe that she studied at Goldsmith College. And Goldsmith College is responsible, I think, partly responsible for producing textile as art. And there are other great artists as well, Sophie Tarber-Alp, amongst others, who now use textiles. A lot of men use textiles. You've only got to look at Kay Fassett, the great knitter, the designer. But anyway, the point of this is, as I said, I've had a bit of a wake-up call to think, it seems to me there are still people who are a bit, oh, is that really art? Well, yes, it is art, and I want you all to feel that your work is as great, you're as great an artist as any painter, okay? So that's my soapbox talk. But getting back to these, I had to say that because it has been on my mind. This is a textured paper, fabric. Once again, you can see the backing there. Now these are momigami pieces painted over. So momigami does take acrylic paint. Now you'll wonder why I've said that. It's because the momigami, the way I do it, and the way probably a lot of people do it, is with baby oil or oils which are resistant to a lot of paints. These are experimental pieces of origami. Now I have featured, or I will be featuring, some of these in the video. And that is particularly my favourite one here. So we have a momigami backing here with fabric on top, and listen to that texture. Okay, but anyway, I think I've got that off my chest now about textiles being an art. It most definitely is an art. It's a great art form, and all of you watching this, all the new subscribers, you must see yourself as artists, okay? Not needle workers, not needle crafters, but you are artists. Now on that note, I'm just going to explain that, as I've mentioned I think about 3 times now, that I went away for a few days down to Folkestone, which is less than an hour away. It's not that far at all. It's on the south coast in the UK. Beautiful place. Spent a couple of days there. Primarily we went down to see an ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, a tribute band called ELO Experience. Oh, absolutely fabulous. As you know from work that we did, it was a challenge some time ago, maybe 18 months ago. Did a challenge, and the music I used was ELO. Obviously for copyright reasons, I couldn't actually play it on the video on the challenge that we did, but you all know that I'm passionate about ELO. So went down to see this tribute band because ELO are based in America. Although they're from my beloved Birmingham, they're in America and they hardly ever come over. So the next best thing is a tribute band, which I've always been a bit sceptical about, but this band was absolutely brilliant. Fabulous night. And so I took a lot of this project down to do with me. You know I like working in a hotel, so there's quite a lot of this has been filmed on my camera from the phone in a hotel room. You know, you wouldn't expect any less, would you? If I go away, my work comes with me and it becomes a hotel project. This is part and part at home, part hotel, and part at home again. Okay, so on that note, I'm going to carry on. So what did we do at this point? We grab our coffee, we grab our cake, put our feet up, and just relax with a little bit of me time, your time, for hopefully less than an hour. I'm trying to keep it short this time. Okay, so please enjoy it. If you like it, please like it. If you're new to this, just carry on, and I hope you like it too. Please subscribe. Okay, so off we go then. So to start this, I've covered up my workspace here with a silicone baking sheet, and this sheet is so good, it's good for everything. So I pop that down. I've then got some Amazon packaging. This was one of their great big bags that they delivered, and this is just ideal. Now you can hear at this stage the paper sound. You wouldn't mistake that for fabric, would you? If I pick up this, so the two sounds are entirely different, and you need to be aware that the sound of this will change as it changes into what we're calling fabric. Okay, now we're going to spend some time just crumpling this up, folding it up, screwing it up, whichever way you choose to do it. And of course, the bigger the piece of paper, the longer it's going to take. Now, I've done this in the past with all sorts of papers, and for me, I find that this sort of almost like wrapping paper, supermarket bag paper, makes the nicest paper, makes the nicest fabric, but it does take a long time to break down the structure. This is what we're doing. We're breaking down the integrity of the paper, or the structure, same thing, and we're weakening it. Now you'll know when it's weakened enough, because it really will look different. It will have shrunk, and it will sound different. Still sounding like paper. So this could take some time to do. Now as soon as you feel that your paper has changed shape, has changed texture, it's become softer, and it's making a fabric noise, I think you'll agree that they're similar. Just going to put some baby oil on here. I'm going to cover this in oil, creasing it as we go, still creasing it. I'm going to cover it all and really massage it in. I'm going to do this all the way over. And, oh, this always makes my hands go lovely and soft. I've got my son's dog here, and he just wants to join in. You can see him now. He wants to look out of the window. Look, you're a good boy, aren't you? Yeah, you're a good boy. So, got to be very careful not to get any oil on him. He's standing on my phone at the moment. That's not very healthy. Safety, is it? Now, yeah, you're a good boy, but I need you to get your head out of the way. Yeah, you are a good boy. You know, this smells too nice for you, doesn't it? You don't like things that smell nice, do you? You'd rather smell old tea bags and go down the bin, wouldn't you? Those sorts of horrible things. Right, so I think there's enough baby oil on here now. And I'm just going to open it up and yeah, if you can hear the difference, it's taken on a fabric feel now. Now as you can see, the baby oil has gone into all the creases, back and front. Oh, it smells wonderful. Now I'm going to give that some time to dry, and as soon as that's done, I'll get back to you. I'm also going to do another couple of pieces while this is drying, so I might have a few more bits to show you. So these are some of the ones now that I finished. There are others and they're drying at the moment. So this one was from the Amazon bag, and you can hear it has now got the cloth sound as opposed to the paper sound. So this is one from Aldi, from the Aldi brochure. Now I've got to be very careful with this because there are some tears in this, but if I just very carefully, I've ripped it a little bit more, you can hear that it is fabric sounding as well, and not paper. Now these little tears here, it's no problem. I can put some masking tape over those and then back them. So I'm going to just experiment on this to see how much we can sew. I have trimmed a little bit off the raggy edge, but I can see here that it's not straight, so I'm just going to take that off there. There we go. Right, so this is purely experimental, and we'll see what happens. Now I don't really want to cover all this up because that defeats the object of making this wonderful paper, so I'm just going to play around with a few ideas just to have a look and see what will work. That's beautiful, isn't it? I'm gonna put this down there maybe. What have I got here? Oh, there's a nice little bit there to start with. A little bit there. Let's see how well this is. I have a finer needle. It isn't the Sashiko needle. It's a finer needle, very slim. It's quite short. I find a short needle quite difficult to work with, but so far just 3 stitches in and that's okay. And this is actually quite easy to work with. Right, let's see the stitches there. I'm just doing a running stitch all the way around the edge. I'm not sure this will actually be anything, but we'll just see what happens. So I started applying the pieces of lace to the background, and it's really easy to put down in place with the running stitch. I'm going to continue like this with other pieces of lace to see what happens. Now, as you can see here, I've used a variety of laces. I don't really want to cover the back entirely because I do want the momigami fabric showing through. Otherwise there was no point in doing it, was there? So there's a collection here of all sorts of laces. Some have been machine embroidered, like that one there, and this is the back of the piece of work, and you can see how tough that paper is. There are no tears there at all, and you can see knots there that I've pulled through and great big stitches. And this is just a close-up of one of the applied pieces of lace, and you can see a sequin there. I've just dotted the flower head with that purple sequin, and here as well I've added a purple centre sequin, a large one, surrounded by smaller ones. So I'm embellishing as I go along. At the moment I'm still not sure where this is going or what it's going to be, if anything, or if it is just purely for experimental purposes. So we'll have to wait and see. And as you can see, it looks quite different to how you saw it last time. I've tried to use as many stitches and techniques as possible on here just to see how strong this momigami is, and I have to say this is really strong, and it makes a fabulous paper. As you know or may not know, I can't remember if I said that I have backed it. I backed it with 2 pieces of fabric. It was to give a quilting effect, a quilted effect, but that didn't work. You can see the back there. That didn't work, but it's also given it a real strength, a further strength, because it was strong before. I've used all sorts of stitches, all the regular stitches, from blanket, running, raised chain, and underneath this raised chain here there is cross stitch, and I've actually gone through, used the cross part where the 2 legs meet to do the raised chain through. There's applique and sequins, buttons as well. What else have we got? More applique there, sequins. And as I said, I have tried to put as many stitches on as possible. I've even used wool. I've pulled wool through. You see the wool there? I pulled wool through from the back, but only gone through the first 2 layers. So I've gone through the paper and the middle. I'm not sure if I've done that in all of them. I think in some of them I've only gone through the paper. Oh, this one's gone through the first, the paper and the middle, but I think that one I've shown you might just have gone through the paper. Oh, it's gone through part of the paper and part of the middle fabric. So this is it, and I think as an experiment it's worked really well. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger and run it down and just show you how I'm going to finish it off. It's purely at this point the result of an experiment, just as I said, just to see how strong this fabric is, and it is indeed really, really strong. So you can get a better look here. That was just the shape of the paper and a bit fell off, so there we are. Now what I am going to do is just back it. I'm going to back it with this piece of fabric, and I'm not sure if I might actually make it up into something or not. We'll see. So what I'm going to do is put that over there and machine this all the way round. I only want a couple of pins just to hold the corners down, really. And there we are. Make sure edge to it. Yes. Here as well. And I should quickly just run around this, and we'll see now how it takes the sewing machine. Now I'm not going to pull it through, so I don't need to leave a gap, and I'm going to do it on the right side so I can just gauge how close to the edge I am and how close to the stitches. So I'm going to bring it in slightly. I've removed the first pin, and we'll make a start. If I can find the foot, the sewing machine foot. Ah, there it is. So here we go, and I've got a long stitch on this brother sewing machine. It's a stitch 10, so it is a long stitch with just ordinary sewing thread. The lining in place, or the backing I should say. Let's have a look at this. Yes, it stood up to the sewing machine very well. Look at that. Look at, you can see by the pressure on my thumbs, my thumbs, that I am really pulling that, and that isn't going anywhere. So I'm going to give that a trim and call this piece finished, and I will give it some consideration as to whether I make this into something. I'm going away in a couple of weeks. Maybe I can make it into some sort of travelling storage folder or something. So I will carry on and just trim all the way around the edge. I'll do that later because that is hurting my thumb at the moment. Right, so there we are. Yeah, it rolls over. It looks quite good that way. That way. That way. I think I prefer it that way. I like that. But unfortunately I've got this little bit here that might need a tiny repair job, so I can take a little bit off there and just repair that, or it will possibly roll up. There we go. So I probably will do something with that. I'll go away, finish trimming this off, and then I'll have a think. Now the next part of the video takes place in Folkestone, where it rained non-stop. It's been the worst weather, I think, on record for many years. We stayed in a nice hotel, and of course I had all my art equipment there, and this is the lovely view from the hotel across the seafront. And as you can see by looking at the trees here and the rain, the weather really was dreadful. Lots of trouble on the roads and chaos everywhere, but we managed to get down. As I say, it's not too far from where I live, so we were very lucky actually to be able to get down because it's so close. And here is actually outside the hotel room, and how blustery it is. I expect some of you who live with severe weather conditions think, oh, well, you know, this isn't much really. But to us Brits, we're not used to this sort of weather, and it really surprised us. But you can see the strength of the wind in these trees. It's just absolutely fabulous actually. I mean, the sea is very beautiful when it's like this, and of course we were on top of the cliff, so waves weren't any threat to us. That was really wonderful, really exhilarating, I think. So in the hotel room, I decided that I was going to put a card inside the fabric between the lining and the new fabric, and I was going to give it a little bit of body, so I had to unpick the side slightly just so I could fit the card in. Now I started off with this coffee box, which was really too small. I'm also holding the camera with one hand, and I'm only using the hand that you see, so my movements are a bit restricted. I've taken the drawer out of the chest of drawers there to use as a tabletop. And of course, I thought you'd like to see what I'm eating at the time. Delicious, absolutely delicious. But I found this box as well, with some earphones in that I bought. So that is a better fit. So I'm going to use that box as some sort of interfacing, if you like, to offer a bit of sturdiness. While I was doing this, I dropped some sequins on the floor, as you can see there. But back to the box, I'm going to take the windows off the side. They've both got cellophane windows, and I'm going to use the front and the back inside as a lining, as I explained, inside this new fabric here. So I've actually had to do this off camera because I've only got the use of one hand, as I said, because I'm using the other hand, and managed to get the card inside. And as you can see, it's quite flexible. There's the card peeping out. Now the next thing I have to do here is turn in the natural seam allowance and then over sew all the way down the opening with a very small stitch, which won't notice. So I've managed to do it here. Didn't take long, just a few seconds really, and it's fully secure there, nothing's going to fall out. I'm quite pleased with the result, how it's looking. You can't detect that at all. So this is the front now. I need to deal with this corner, which was a piece of paper fabric that fell off, and I've decided to put some applique there to not hide it, but maybe to enhance it. I'm going to use this piece here, and all I'm going to do is, as I've done with the other applique pieces, is just use a small running stitch, long needle. I'm now back to the sashiko needle, and 3 strands of fabric to hold it down. Now this is a finished piece. Actually changed my mind about the sequins halfway through and decided I wanted one big statement, if you like. That is one big sequin with another sequin, a medium-sized one inside, and then a smaller one held in place. I needed a button, so I've taken the button off my cardigan to embellish the front. I think you might have seen the red button on there. Now at the same time I also needed something else just to disguise the bottom where the ripped fabric was. So I decided then to take the small coat hangers, the ribbon hangers from another cardigan, to use those. So this is what I love about being in the hotel rooms. You have to think on your feet and use what you've got available. So I felt quite pleased. I'm now going to attach them along the bottom here, just for some added detail. Well, unfortunately, between the hotel and getting back home, something's gone wrong with my camera, and I've lost the video between the last scene, if you like, the one where I'm showing you the button and the ribbon from my cardigan. I've lost the making up, the finishing of the actual wallet here. I'm now calling it a wallet. I've lost the video for that, so I'm going to very, very briefly, if I can remember, go through the stage that is now lost between this bit, the ribbon bit, and what you're looking at now. So I'm going to have to try and remember what I did. So you know that this was taken from a pullover of mine that I have with me. It's the ribbon hangers, and all I've done, I'm actually made a hole along here to thread these through, and I've just knotted them. So no secrets there whatsoever, they're just knotted, and I have 1, 2, 3. Now I might later on, it depends, put some beads there, but I might not, because now I've turned this into a wallet. I might, the beads might be a bit too fussy in my bag. It's actually going to be a passport holder for my forthcoming trip to Germany and the Netherlands in a couple of weeks' time. So it is finished, passport in there with a few tickets as well, maybe a few euros, but that will be my tie. The bulldog clip will be my closure, because it needs to really secure the passport and other documents in there. Now I'll just go through and show you a close-up, I think, of the front. I'm still not sure what will be the front, that way or this way. I think maybe, I really love that piece. I'd like that on the front, but I actually think it's going to be on the back. So the front, there we go. I think you've seen this all before. I've added sequins, I might have added this before, I can't really remember without looking back on the video. So I've put a few things along here. Now I won't describe them in case I've already done this on a previous part. Turn it over and there we have it. Now to make this up, all I did was, I'm going to take this and show you exactly. Imagine this is the lining here, that is the inside, so you imagine that that is now this part of the lining. It's still on the Amazon paper, barcode there. All I did was blanket stitch all the way around the edge. Nice blanket stitch all the way around this edge. If you look closely, you can see a white blanket stitch, and it goes all the way around the edge. So after the white blanket stitch, I then over sewed them together, and all I did was take a contrasting colour. I've taken blue and I've just clipped over each blanket stitch, each top, from one side to the other side, one side to the other, all the way along there. Did the two sides first, and here, whoops, and here, right across the ribbon here. And as soon as they were secure, each side was secure here, I then went back and did the opening. Okay, so the opening was done last, and that is all there is to making that wallet. And as I said, closure will be with a bulldog clip, just to make sure it's secure. Certainly don't want to get to customs and find, oh my goodness, where's my passport? Okay, I just couldn't go through that. So there we are, all done. Front or back, front or back, you choose. So that is the Momogami, and I really hope you enjoyed that. And as I say, I have been working on this for some time. So apologies to Janet. Oh Janet, I feel really bad about this, and I really didn't copy you. In fact, I haven't watched your video yet. I'm going off to watch it now. I made a conscious decision not to watch your video, as I said earlier on, because I didn't want to be influenced by it. So I do hope your video and my video are not the same, because it's going to look so contrived, isn't it, that I've turned up with a video the same week as yours. So anyway, if you like this, please like, please subscribe, and thank you to all the new subscribers. I'm really thrilled, and I'll speak to you soon. But do have a go at this, it's just a fabulous thing to do. Okay, and the plique is fun as well. So there we go, all done and dusted, and I'm really pleased with this, and it'll be interesting to see if it survives a ferry, the Channel Tunnel, coach trip, and a suitcase. And I'll let you know if it does or if it doesn't, okay? But anyway, take care everybody, and good luck with the weather wherever you are. Keep safe. Bye bye.